Hello and welcome back to Game Hammer Extra. This is the show where we look at all kinds of things related to retro gaming. But today, it's not quite retro gaming because although I have some retro games on it, we're talking about the collection of games I have on the Nintendo Switch. I first picked up a Nintendo Switch in December of 2022, and from then I've been picking up games as and when I've seen them around. I keep them in this little Mario box, which is really nice actually. I kind of like it. It allows you to hold 16 cartridges and just take them wherever you want to go, which is useful. I don't have 16 cartridges, I've only got 8 at the moment. I usually go for downloads, but let's take a look at the downloads that I have. We'll come to the actual cartridges I have soon, but for the moment the downloads are like Demon's Rise, which is a really interesting game. It's very much like, I would say, an isometric Gauntlet crossed with XCOM, so it's actually quite interesting. Then of course I have the Doom set, so I've got Doom 64. Everyone knows what Doom 64 is. It's Doom on the Nintendo 64. It's not a bad game, but I would say it's not as good as Doom's 1 and 2. After that, it's Fantasy Zone, which is a very cute side-scrolling shooter. If you haven't played it yet, get a copy. The Sega Ages version on Switch is excellent, one of the classic side-scrolling shooters. After that, we have Thomas Was Alone, and this one is hard to describe. It's a very narrative-heavy game where it's kind of a puzzle platformer, but it's mostly focused on simple puzzles to drive the narrative of these artificial intelligent creatures coming to terms with the fact that other people exist and what their role is in life, and it's actually quite good. After that, of course, I have Dooms 1 and 2, which, do I need to go into them? They're Doom, they're amazing. The only problem with them on the Switch, and it's the same with Doom 64, is that they've added motion controls, so if you're playing and you happen to turn your controllers while you're playing, you will look in a different direction. It's very annoying, but aside from that, excellent ports of these games. Up next is roguelike rhythm action game Crypt of the Necrodancer. This one, it's a roguelike, but you can move and attack in time to the beat of the music, which is great if you can hear the beat of the music. Not so great if you're playing in bed, you don't want to wake up your wife, and you've had to turn the sound down. But it's still a fun game. I kind of enjoy it, but it's hard to keep to the beat sometimes. Other than that, pretty good game. Mini Trains is a very easy-going puzzle game where basically you're just putting together a load of track to make some trains run. It's very much like Pipe Dream, only with a kind of wooden train set. Bit of fun. I kind of like it. Okay, we're going to go through the rest of these pretty quick. So we've also got next Limbo, which is, if you've never played a large-headed child in a scary world, black and white, very artsy, story-driven, side-scrolling platformer, then you've probably played Limbo, because they're all pretty much the same. After that, we've got the Angry Video Game Nerd, Volumes 1 and 2, and these are great. Proper, old-school, hard action platformers. They're fantastic. I absolutely adore it. The first one is far superior to the second, which tries to really up the unfairness of the hardness. Instead of being hard, it's more unfair, and it goes into far more in depth in the style of the old LGN. It could have been good, but they've made it that little bit unfair. That style, I'm not keen on that. But apart from that aspect, these are great games. After that, we have Jewel Fever 2, which wants to be Bejeweled, but isn't as good. To be honest with you, I wouldn't recommend it. You can't lose. It gives you all the time in the world, and you can't lose. Dex is a side-scrolling, I want to say it's like Flashback. It's kind of a Flashback clone, but it has a few more RPG elements. A lot of fun to play, but be prepared to sit down and actually put some time in because it's story-driven, and it's actually quite interesting. Then we have Outrun, another Sega Ages game. It's the original Outrun arcade game, and it's really good fun. After that, we have Bullseye, which is pretty much the worst game on the Switch. It's got next to no parts of what made Bullseye a really fun game to watch on TV, and it's just not worth it. buy the DVD version with Jim Bowen actually in it, rather than the guy who's pretending to be Jim Bowen's voice, and you'll have a much better time. Okay, we're on a home stretch now for these downloads. So we have Dragon Quest, the original Dragon Quest from the NES, and it's a lot of fun. It's a proper conversion to the Switch of a NES classic. Great fun, really controls well, really does play well. Couldn't recommend it more. Really like this one. After that, we have the final one, which is the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. It's a recreation of the old Choose Your Own Adventure game. It's not bad, but I haven't really played it enough yet to really sink my teeth into it. Okay, that's all the downloads. Let's go and see what physical games I've actually got. No collection is complete without Animal Crossing. It's just fun. Build your own little island town and basically do everyone's chores because they're too lazy to do them themselves. It's a lot of fun. It's very charming, it's very quirky, and it's the type of game I just play on a night while listening to podcasts. Really do enjoy this one. Next up we have Brain Training, which I haven't really got into, but I had to buy because I saw it there with a stencil, not the stencil, a stylus, and it looks like the kind of thing that would be great to just keep your mind occupied if you don't have a really stressful and strenuous job that requires you to do that sort of thing. There's the stylus. Everything in good condition. Found it for £1 in a charity shop. Had to have it. You would, wouldn't you? For £1, definitely worth it. For the stylus alone. Then we have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD version, which I'm told is a much better version than Skyward Sword on the Wii. So when I have time, I'll actually play it. But at the moment, I'm trying to finish off paying back all my loans on Animal Crossing to Tom Nook. So I'll get round to it. After that, Little Nightmares, the complete edition. Again, it's a small child in a scary world, a bit like Limbo, but very different. And I haven't played an awful lot of it. It looks pretty good, and I'm looking forward to playing it as a thing to do on a night while I'm listening to podcasts and seeing how it goes, but I haven't tried it yet. One I have tried is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which I got because if ever I have people round, which happens every now and again, especially when the nieces and nephews visit, we can all sit down and play a bit of Mario Kart. It's great fun. Anyone can play it. Absolutely adore this one. Really good. After that, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Again, I picked this one up because it was £1 in a charity shop, but it's download code only. And I've never tried the download code yet, so I don't know whether I've got the game or just the box. I don't mind if I've just got the box because, well, it was just going to get thrown out otherwise, and for £1 I'll take it. But I haven't really tried it yet. After that, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, which is of course a remake of a game that was out on PlayStation 1, I believe it was, or maybe Xbox. I can't remember either way, but it's an interesting game. Puzzle platformer, all 3D style. Looking forward to giving it a proper try. What I have tried, though, is Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is incredibly dull. I'm sorry to say, it's one of those where I really thought Pokemon Go in open world would work really well, and there's just not enough meat on it. It's weird. It's like baby's first Monster Hunter. Yeah, that's all I can say about it. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Got it the same day as I got my Switch, along with Animal Crossing. Absolutely adore this one. Proper old school Mario game. Really, really good. Absolutely love it. And the fact that it's also got Super Luigi Bros. In there as well as an extra is superb. Really couldn't say no to that one. Absolutely recommend it. Except for the Ice World. Wasn't a fan of that with the extra slipping. But aside from that, really good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. As you can see, I've gone mainly for retro, but there are some new ideas in there and some new games, and I really do like my retro. Being able to take it around with me on the Switch is actually a really nice way of playing these games, especially since the versions that are on there have been done properly. So it's not a bad port on there, as far as I could see. They're really well done, they work well on the system, and they're a lot of fun. So I highly recommend it. Okay, that's all we've really got time for today, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have liked it, and if there are some classics that I have missed, please do let me know, because I'm always looking to expand the collection. But until next time, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to click that like button, share it with your friends so that they'll know some good games when they see them, and do subscribe for future videos because there'll be more in the future. But until next time, I've been Zoe Kirk Robinson, you've been watching Game Hammer Extra, and I'll see you later. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey82, Mo Henry, and George Botterini. Thank you so much, guys.